Hi everybody, Russ and my Hammers 11. Hope you're safe and well. If you're new channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you may do it anytime we put new content on. We'd like to thank our channel sponsors, Untuck It. Check them out in the description below. Today's guest. I thought he might have been our youngest ever. How old are you, Jake?
I'm 13.
Nah, he's not the youngest guest. Sorry. Second place. My daughter's 8. So there you go. Anyway, it's Jake. You see him all over. He's started up a YouTube channel and he's doing really, really well. So I thought we'll get him on and have a chat. How are you, Jake?
I'm good. Yeah, Russ, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How was school today? All right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh well, and so obviously, you know, your YouTube channel is like skyrocketing at the moment, mate. It must be well fun.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, obviously going up. I think I've gone up like 120 in the over the weekend.
Wow,
great.
that's brilliant, mate. That's brilliant, and it is this, and everyone's been really, you know, I've obviously, I watched Friday Night Pint with the boys, and obviously Stell and stuff and that for Mind United. No, it's lovely, man, and you're enjoying it. That's the main thing, though, isn't it? You enjoy it, though.
Yeah. Obviously, with all their help, it's been fantastic. Yeah, just to get it up.
Yeah, and it's good, isn't it? And why not? You know, you can't do anything else at the moment, and you're in sort of lockdown, so you might as well just do some video. I saw that you saw your stream the other day. That's no mean feat what you did there, mate. Yeah, it was a long old. That was about an hour, weren't it? Your football stream, and that takes some time. You know, that even just having the even just chatting for an hour. Do you know what I mean? Let alone doing all the bringing guests in and guests out and sending the links and I know it's a right bugger because I've done it. So yeah, it's really impressive, mate. And he was on the radio. Your dad told me.
Yeah.
Check you out. You out. Exactly, a little celebrity. But no, it's all good, man. It's lovely. And it's nice to see everyone sort of helping out as well, isn't it? Like all the boys to the other, and everyone that we all do. It's like a big like community, all the West Ham lot, which is lovely. And you've got some decent football to talk about at the moment, haven't we? West Ham are playing okay at the moment, aren't they, mate?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we're playing really well. Obviously, we thought of the nightmare fixtures that we've got at the moment. We've came out of that really well.
Yeah. We have, and obviously the international break, and you know, after I don't like the international breaks. I'll be honest, Jake. I don't really like international football. I'm perfectly honest. I don't. I just gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah. It just mucks thing up, doesn't it? There's nothing to watch on a Saturday, then, is there?
No, it's not. Apart from West Ham unofficial. See, that's what you got to do. You got to always. That's the thing I've learned as well. You've always got any time. You got to drop it in all the time. So anyway, West Ham unofficial. Give him some love. No, I know what you mean. It's always the way with West Ham as well, because we seem to get into a stride. We seem to play really well, or we win, and then we're on international break for 2.5 weeks, and then we start all over again. It's like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, let's hope we continue the form that we have before the international break. After it.
Exactly. We need to, don't we, to cement those sort of good performances. The first sort of 7 or 8 games we need. Obviously the Fulham game, we won. Doesn't matter. I don't care how we played. We won. That's the important thing at the moment, isn't it? So, I think we can when we're like a top, consistently a top 10 team, then we can start criticizing, the manner we win and how we win. Let's just get the points on first. Typical West Ham. So Jake, as our second youngest guest we've had on the channel, the first question I always ask is, why are you a West Ham fan? And you can't say because your dad told you to be a West Ham fan.
Well, my dad's had influence from some family up in Ilford near Upton Park. He's always a West Ham fan, and then I just followed suit.
Was there any with your dad? Was there any choice to become a West Ham fan, or was it sort of?
There was no.
Nah. You were sort of presented with your shirt on every birthday from about the age of about 2 onwards, and then well, that's the way it happens sometimes, mate, isn't it? And we can't all, and then we can't all be winning the league and stuff like that. It's character building being a West Ham fan, Jake. It is.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first West Ham game?
I do. It was against Sunderland at Upton Park. I think it was in the 2014-15 season. That's the first game I can actually remember.
Yeah.
and typical West Ham, we played awful, and Diafra scored in the last minute
Yeah.
For a winner. So that was brilliant.
Oh, it's good. At least they won, but at least they didn't play very well. So you sort of had false hope that that was it. That's it. I think it was the same with me. I think my first game was a few years before you, to be honest, just a couple, and I think the opposition scored after about 30 seconds. So you can imagine me like you turn up, you got your scarf on, you got your beanie hat, you've had your pie, you've had your Diet Coke, or I don't drink tea, but a cup of tea or whatever, and then you sort of turn up, and after 30 seconds they score, and you're like, oh god. And I remember that because my granddad he turned to me and said, "Get used to this, Rush. You've got a whole lifetime of this ahead of you." And I didn't believe him, but now I do. So there it is. But it's all lovely stuff, and it's fun, isn't it? Once you get into West Ham, and I mean, you now, because you're part of the YouTube, fraternity. Everyone's lovely, isn't it? Everyone just gets on with each other. It's really, really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been amazing with obviously all the shout outs I've had from Orange United and West Ham Fan TV. Yeah. Well, I always used to watch them before I actually did YouTube properly, so it's really good to see them recognising me.
Really yeah, and my Hammer's 11. No, exactly. Yeah, my Hammer's 11. Yeah, for the shout, I'm joking. I'm winding you up. No, it's true. It is nice, and everyone just same as me. I've only been doing this since May time, maybe. And yeah, I couldn't have done it without the help of people like X and people like Sean and because they've helped me out a lot in terms of helping get a few guests in, and then it sort of grows and grows and grows, and that's the way it always works. And from going, as you said, you're over the weekend, your subscribers sort of zoomed up 150 odd. That's massive. That's really, really good. And long may it continue, my man. Long may it continue. Yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, West Ham Unofficial, check him out. That's what I'm saying. So that's what you always got to say. You always got to keep it going. Like, share, subscribe. It's and I saw you're getting a mic sorted and stuff as well, and brilliant, isn't it? All those little bits make a big difference, man. It makes a big difference. No, it's lovely, man. I'm really, 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 really. I would obviously we all keep an eye out and see how things go. So as I said, what we tend to do on these things is it's called My Hammers 11. So that's the name of the My Hammers 11. So we go through your 11. So the only rule is you have to be alive to have seen them play. I've been funny 13 years. It's not, it hasn't been the most, hasn't been the greatest time, must be honest. But
yeah, I've gone with it.
Good. Okay. All right. So we'll go through them and have a bit of a giggle. So we'll start off in goals. So who's in goal for the Cox 11?
I've put Adrian in goal.
Okay.
It was between him and Fabianski, obviously the only two real good keepers that I've seen at West Ham.
What about Roberto? All right.
Yeah.
What about Roberto? Let me hear that. Exactly. Carry on, man. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know why. I've always had a soft spot for Adrian. He could have two brilliant games, pull off an absolute screamer of a save, and then let one through his legs. That's just Adrian, isn't it?
Yep, and it's just and that's just West Ham as well, isn't it? He's a very West Ham player, and the fact that he always turns up a couple of times a season, same as West Ham, and you go, where was this team like when we were playing Burnley? You know what I mean? It's like, and that's Adrian. God bless him. God bless him. He was he was a bit crazy, wasn't he? I think that's why a lot of people liked him. No, but I it was good fun. Right, okay. Are we going to play 4 at the back?
We are, yes.
Okay, let's go left back. Who's going to be left? This is tough for you, left backs.
Well, I think the only one I've got to choose from is Aaron Cresswell. I've put him here. He's had a few England games, I know, but he's been there. He's a solid West Ham player, in my opinion. Obviously, with this back 5 at the moment, he's playing as a centre back, but and that suits him for me. But he's got a good ball in, and he's a loyal servant to West Ham, I think.
He is, isn't he? Yeah, you're right. You are right. He's a loyal servant to West Ham, and fair play. It's this sort of resurrection of his career by playing the back 3. As you said, there's match the day we're talking about England call-ups, and it's like, really, but it works, and there's a long way to continue. Yeah. My only concern is they change, like the formation will change, and then he'll go back, and everyone starts slagging him off again. But That's the West Ham way, isn't it, Jake? It's the West Ham way. There's always a but with West Ham, isn't there? It's like, oh, he's a good player, but he can only play in the back three. It's like, oh, just give the man a break. He's as you said, as a long time servant. He's probably like I reckon there'd be Mark Noble and then technically Winston Reid, and then it's probably him as the third in the current squad. So fair play to the man. Right, okay, that's Cresswell in. Let's go with the right back. Again, this is tough for you as well.
Yeah. He's not our best player we've ever seen, but I put Pablo Zabaleta there.
Yes.
I think unlike a lot of players, I think in this team, he put in 100% shift in. I don't really know how to explain it really, but he's always
He's a model. He's a model professional, wasn't he? He was a model professional.
Not, but he's good. Yeah, I like him.
He would try, wouldn't he? Because he was a professional. I mean, that's what people ask about being, for a West Ham player. That's all the fans ask, is someone who tries. Now, Zabaleta tried every game. No, he did try. Now, obviously, his legs weren't there. It's not his fault that he was old and we're playing him and he's getting rinsed by, I don't know, Sarr or Mane or Salah, but he has a go in it, and he has a go, and you couldn't criticize his work ethic, and I think some of it might have rubbed off on some of the players since, because obviously this new crop of players we have now seem to all want to put a shift in, and I'd like to think there was a little bit of influence on Pablo before he left. Okay, Mr. Zabaleta is in. Right, centre backs. Who's your first centre back then, Jake?
I've gone with James Collins.
Yeah.
For me, he doesn't really need an introduction, does he? But he's just retired in the last couple of weeks, hasn't he? But But what a player for West Ham! He's one of them old school centre backs, in my opinion. Who he put a crunching tackle in. He was always there as a rock in the defence when he was there in the Upton Park years.
Definitely. He was. He was like, again, he was another one like Zabaleta. 100%, weren't it? Every game, 100%. Even if he gets beaten for pace or whatever, it doesn't matter. 100%. If he's getting part, he's not going to get, as you said, an old school defender. It's a really good way of describing him. He was an old school defender and probably the last of that era of old school defenders who, old school, and 13, you know what I mean? I'm only 39, but you know what I mean? Sort of we're going to, not punch them, that's the right expression, but I'm going to foul you if you get past me, and I'm going to put my head in that ball. I don't care where it is. And and the fans loved him, didn't they? And he was just so passionate. And who knows? I reckon he'll make a half-time appearance at London Stadium when everyone gets back. It's quite obvious, isn't it, to give him a proper send-off. So we shall see. Well deserved as well. Okay, it's Mr. Collins. Now, who is going to be next?
I've put Angelo Ogbonna. He's been at West Ham a long time, as far as I can remember, back in the couple of years before the Boleyn, before we left the Boleyn. But yeah, he's another rock defender, especially in the last couple of years, in my opinion. He's in his sixth season at West Ham, I think. He's at the moment he's the rock of our defence, I think. He's the one there. Obviously, when we've had Balbuena, Diop kind of dipping in and out of the side, he's always there. He'll put a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 performance in for us. Just especially over the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, you're right. And he has, the last couple of years, he's really sort of, I don't know, he's just come into his own, isn't it? And as you said, there's like that three, isn't there? There's like Balbuena, there's Ogbonna, and there's Diop, and there's always one of them dips out of form and the other one pops in, and it's just seemed to work. They don't all seem to be bad at the same time. So we've been quite fortunate where like at least one of them's been good. Like when we signed Balbuena, he was like really good, and it was between Diop and Ogbonna who got that sort of next spot. Then Diop got really good, and it was Balbuena wasn't very good. So and it's all sort of, it works out quite nicely. But yeah, and when I listen, I mean, when the football's on, obviously, do you listen to it with the crowd noise on or the crowd noise off?
We have the crowd noise off. I think it's fascinating listening to the players. I think,
it is. And you can hear, and if you listen to it, Oggy shouts loads. He's a proper, you can hear him, and obviously I can hear him from when I were at the London Stadium, when I sort of pop my head out, I can hear him shouting. It's him and Deck particularly. They shout loads, but Oggy, you can understand because obviously it's the slight accent to his voice as well. But yeah, it's fascinating. You're right. It's really interesting to hear, and also I think it's really interesting to hear the bench as well shouting. So like you can hear you can pick out Moyes and Alan Irvine because they're sort of Scottish accents, and you can hear Kevin Nolan's Scouse accent and Pierce's. It's a lovely blend. I think at the moment the backroom stuff it just works well at the moment. But and Oggy's someone who's definitely improved in the last season in a couple of years. Obviously, he was runner-up Ham of the Year last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And arguably could have won it, if it wasn't for Mr. Rice, of course. Right, okie dokie. There's your back four. There's your goalkeeper. Let's go into midfield. Let's go on the left. We're playing four in the midfield.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good. Just for a check because might do something different. Who's going to play left midfield then, Jake?
As much as it pains me to say, it's Dimitri Payet. You've just got to look at that year, haven't you? Where as fans we were like, what's he going to do next? What's he going to do? It's just obviously the way he left. We won't talk about that, but just that season for me, made memories with his free kicks, with his play. I think the two ones that sticks out for me is obviously the goal against Palace, that free kick, and then at the stadium where he took down about four Middlesbrough men to just slot it in. I thought,
and he beat him. Wow. Exactly, and he beat them twice almost, wasn't he? He came through them and always beat them twice, the same players. But do you know, everyone says, it pains me or I'm going to get loads of haters rather put, Dimitri Payet. Everyone picks him. Do you know what I mean? He's the best football player I've ever seen in my life at West Ham. So, as you said, memories. It is about memories, isn't it? And those type of players, those sort of mesmeric players, those mercurial players, sort of him and Arnautovic and Di Canio to some extent, they could throw their toys out the pram. And that's what he did. That's how he came to us as well, by doing the same thing. So what do we really expect in terms of how he's going to treat himself? But as you said, that last season wouldn't have been the same without him, would it?
Yeah, I definitely think every now and then we get a wow player, don't we? We get a player that maybe Benrahma's going to be our one for this kind of couple of years. Who knows? Excited to see him play. But yeah, I'm just a wow player for me.
Yeah. He is a wow player. And yeah, you're right. We've always had a wow player. So it has been obviously before your time, obviously Di Canio and then Joe Cole and, even before my time, your Brookins and your Devonshires and players like that. West Ham fans love that sort of, I call him sort of an enigma player. He'll be absolutely world class for a lot of the games, and then sometimes you wouldn't recognise him on the pitch. You just and hopefully, Balbuena could well. I mean, did you see his pass yesterday? Check it out on YouTube. It was him. He did this sort of crossfield ball to Mahrez. It was incredible, honestly. And then Mahrez just took it. It was a great goal. I don't know who they were playing, but yeah, it was class, honestly. It was I found it on Twitter. I was like, actually check it out. Right, okay, so we play him on the left. Let's go with the right wing then. Who's gonna be in the right midfield?
I've gone for Robert Snodgrass.
Oh yes.
I put in there, I think another one of these players that he puts a shift in. He's great with set pieces. He's been at West Ham a while now. He's not first team quality, obviously, like Zabaleta. He's lost his legs, hasn't he? But I think he's just he put in a very good shift for us for a couple of seasons. I thought he was very good. I thought.
Yeah, totally, and I think he's one of those good squad players. You know what I mean? To be around the squad, you can see he's like a bit of a joker, and also like when people were allowed to watch football at the stadiums, and he was taking a corner, he'd always be there. Come on, and everyone he'd like cheer the crowd up, and you can't deny he's like dead ball situations, his corners, his free kicks are fantastic.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think we missed him quite a lot last season when he was injured. Just for being around the team, as you said, he's not a starter. He's not first. He's not like a first name of the pitch, but on the team sheet. But he's always a name in the squad, and again, he'll put a shift in. And we like that at the moment. That a lot of players are putting shifts in, and it's really, really good. But yeah, Snoddy, good shout. Right, okay, we write that down so I don't forget. Snod Gross. Okay, midfield, central midfield, first midfielder, go.
I've gone for Declan Rice.
Mr. Rice.
Yeah, he's another one of these squad players. Obviously he's the first name on the team sheet, but he's just around the squad. You can tell that he's the him and my next midfielder. They're the ones. Yeah, obviously on the pitch. I think we couldn't let him go. I think we wouldn't have been in this position we are without Rice. He's just that drive in the midfield for me. He's what gets us going forward. Let's hope we can keep him for as long as possible, because that would leave a big dent in our side.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Totally. And I think with Declan Rice, he's just like this season. He's just gone up another level, hasn't he? Really, in terms of performance. I think it's because he's partnered with Souček, and they just work well off each other. And yeah, I can't honestly. Someone put something on Twitter. Can you think of a better CDM at the moment? And I can't. I can't think of a better CDM in the world. Everyone else, Fernandinho, but he's old now, and Busquets, he's old now, and I can't think of anyone. And he's well. Declan will be world class. I mean, he's already. I think he probably already is at that level. To be perfectly honest, he could slot into a top 4 team without even breaking a sweat, can he? And the longer we keep him, the better. That's what I'm saying.
I think that that duo of Souček and Rice in the middle. What a signing Souček was, I think.
Yeah.
Two, as you said, work well off each other, and they're really good. It's good we've got a solid. Usually we've got like one really good central midfielder, but we've got 2 solid ones there now. That
it's true. We've always had like one and then another. Do you know what I mean? But to have like 2, like who are, arguably in their sort of prime at the moment. No disrespect to who Thomas Souček's previous midfielder was, because he was a phenomenal man. But these 2 are in their prime at the moment. And again, I think probably you might have to look back at, I don't know, maybe when it was like Alex Song and Noble in the middle. That's probably, that was probably the last time we had like a really good pair, like 2 of them, not just one but 2 strong players. Maybe before that, maybe like even from Bish and Moncur. God, that's years ago, but still. Right, okay, so we put Mr. Rice in. Who's going to be next then, Jake?
I had to go with Mark Noble, didn't I?
Yeah, of course you did.
Nobes is slotted in there. Obviously, Mr. West Ham, over 500 appearances for us. I could go on with the stats, but but he's just an absolutely another squad person, just personality. Obviously been there. I think is it 16 years now. I said that is a long time. Obviously in his real prime, I wasn't alive.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? How long he's been playing for West Ham? When he was really good, I wasn't alive at the time, and you're 13, and he's still there. Carry on. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, well, he's still there. And I think not this season, next season. I think he's retiring, but definitely, I think he's been a legend of the club.
Yeah, definitely, and I hope he doesn't retire till next year, because I think you need us, because it's like this year you want to say goodbye properly with the fans. And even if we get back, I mean, there's talk today of maybe next month, but still that's like a third of the season's already gone, type thing, and it wouldn't sit right with me. Do you know what I mean? For someone so special to the club. But yeah, no, you can't really say anything about him, can you really? And again, I think there's something special about having a West Ham fan in your team. There's not many teams that have fans of that team playing for them. Do you know, particularly in the Premier League? And again, he would always put a shift in it. So he's one person you don't have to worry about not having a go, because he will have a go because it's his team. But top bloke, top man. I remember when we played Chelsea last year, he was in the squad, but I was watching the game in the disabled area. And he was watching it like a fan. Now, we know Mark Noble is a West Ham fan, but seeing it was different. watching him kicking every ball and celebrating goals like he was a fan. And when we lost, when we conceded and stuff like, it was lovely to watch. Should have done a little, little cam on him, little fan cam. But he's top bloke. Right, okay, let's go up front then, Jake. Who's your first striker? Who's going to get these goals for the Cox 11?
I've gone for my first one. I've gone for Diafra Sakho.
Nice.
Obviously, my first memory, as I said, at the bowling ground. I'll never forget that when he scored in the last minute. But I think as I said, in the bowling years, he was there. He was the poacher. He was the one who put it in the back of the net. And he scored a lot of goals for us. And I think he gets forgotten about. He's definitely a great striker for us in like 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think he's sort of he's because he's sort of being forgotten about a little bit recently because people think before and after him, so to speak. And to be fair, he sort of came out of nowhere. He's gone back to nowhere, really. But he was really good for us, wasn't he? He was like as you said, sort of a little bit of a poacher. And again, we don't get them sort of players anymore now. I was actually talking about him like in the live stream the other day, and someone mentioned Sakho, and I was like, "Oh my god, he was a player. He was a really good player, and also he was a lovely bloke. So he would always, it was him, Kuyate, I think Alex Song as well. They would always, when you did the open training sessions, when the kids could come in and watch them, and then they were there for hours, signing everything, taking pictures of everything. And I remember, it was Sakho and it was Kuyate. And it was Alex Song, and I was like, so much respect. And Adrian, actually, to be fair, Adrian was exactly the same. He was one of the last ones in as well. So lovely guy. And it's a shame how his sort of career sort of like went nowhere after he'd left West Ham, wasn't it? It was just strange. It was just very, very bizarre. But there was talk of him coming back, wasn't there? Like I think when we were desperate for a striker, and there's only one man you can re-sign. That's Carlton Cole. If you need a striker, Oh, bless him. Right, okay, we'll put Sakho in. Right, you got one more spot. Jake. Who are we gonna have, man?
I put Antonio to go with Sakho. For me, obviously this season and last season, what a striker he's been. You can see we've missed him over the last couple of weeks, definitely. Obviously, there's the whole Halle situation. But I think that Antonio, he's been, again, he's been a long time, and he's always, obviously, he played a big part in the Man United win in the last game at the bowling.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely soared over the last couple of seasons. And there's talks of him going into the England squad. I'm a West Ham fan who thinks I don't want him to go because you know what'll happen. He'll go and pull a hamstring. But but fair play to him. Just a great striker.
He is. I would, if I was. I mean, again, I'm not. Don't really follow the England stuff much. I mean, I didn't watch 1 minute of the Belgium game. To be honest, I was too busy eating brownies. To be perfectly fair, but I don't see why he's not around. I know he's injured at the moment, but why he wouldn't be around the England squad? Because, you look at who else they're picking. They're picking people like Danny Welbeck and stuff like that. All like very similar type. It's like these players. It's like you look at all the alternatives. He's just different. Do you know what I mean? He's just like a muscle, a running muscle. And if you need someone to just knock a defence around for half an hour, or you're chasing the game and you want to hold back and let them come to you and hit them on the counter attack, he just opens up so much possibilities, doesn't he, in terms of how he's playing? And obviously, Moyes has done the job on him. You know what I mean? It's like, and it hasn't just been him. He did the job with on Arnautovic as well. Same thing, converted him to a striker, different player. He did the same with Cresswell. He's done the same with Masuaku. Fornals. He's a. I think Moyes, when he gets a lot of haters, obviously, but he's done well with what he's got with the hand he's been dealt. But Antonio, as you said, he's just been this revelation, and I think it's because the players. I don't think the defenders know. I don't think he knows what he's going to do next. So he's like, it's almost like he's got the ball. He's like, right, okay, I've got to go, and I've got to go that way. we'll see what happens. And just carries on running and I do a step over. I love it, but I think it's great, and it's exciting. You get excited when he turns up when he has the ball because particularly when he's got the bit between his teeth. Do you know what I mean? When he's really like, I'm gonna just terrorize. And I can't think of a Premier League defender apart from Van Dijk possibly who can match him strength wise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was obviously frustrating that Neven played the Liverpool game because that would have been quite fun. And I still think there's a place for two up front with Haller and Antonio.
So yeah.
I still think so.
That's the one thing that I think Moyes isn't seeing, is he? Hopefully when they're both fully fit, I don't know whether he'll try it or not, but at the moment I don't think he can with the formation.
No,
and how well
that's the trouble. Yeah. That's the trouble. It's like then you change everything just to accommodate one player, isn't it? And it's like then you get down. That's quite dangerous, I think. But yeah, I remember was it the Southampton game just before we went into the first lockdown, and it was Haller was playing up front, and I think Antonio was playing off the right, basically. And Haller looked a completely different player. He looks absolutely amazing. He looks like the player that we'd bought because he had someone to link up with, and it happens too often that you buy a player, but you buy a player for your formation rather than the formation which you should be playing. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of like I don't know if the expression is like a round peg, square hole, square peg, round hole, whatever it is. It doesn't quite fit in. So no, I think Antonio's fantastic and he's a nice bloke as well. Again, he's like a funny guy. You haven't got a lot of characters in the English in Premier League anymore now, so he's like one. He's always the same as Snoddy. Snoddy's always up for a laugh, and Deck's always up for a laugh, isn't he? So, no, it's good, man. That's it, Jake. That's the 11, man.
Yeah.
That's the 11. It's a strong team. I'll give you that. It's a strong team.
Yeah.
It'll
But
do
it's
bits.
I'm not very pacey there, much of it, except I think.
No.
But as players that I've seen who the big word is putting the shift in, I think.
Yes.
Players who gave memories for me.
Exactly. It's memories and it's players are going to play for the badge, and that's all we ask for as a West Ham fan, isn't it? Really, very rarely you get someone who will put a shift in and be a fantastic player as well. But at least a lot of those players, are going to put a shift in 100%. And it's good, man. It's good, Jake, man. I wish you all the luck with the YouTube. I sound like such an old man now. Oh, are you going on the YouTube? Yes, dear. I'm going on the YouTube with your channel, man. It's really, really good. I think it's great, and I hope that more people do it because it's great. I love it. I love doing it. The last sort of 6 months, something like that. It's been brilliant. I've loved it, and I think it's great. And if it's you got stuff to say and everyone likes it, listen to you say it, then why not, man? Enjoy it, buddy. Enjoy it. It's all good, buddy. And as I said, check him out on his channel, West Ham Unofficial. Give him a share. See now what you should have done, right? What you should have done, Jake. This is a little trick for next time. Next time you go on one of those like Stealth show or whatever, change your name to say West Ham Unofficial. All right. There's a little trick. I only figured it out, and I don't do it. I just do my Twitter handle. Oh, that's it, my Twitter handle. But you could do that. That's a good one. Honestly, a little trick I've learned. But anyway, man, it's all good. It's all good. I love seeing it, and I love it. It sort of fills you with like hope for the future when when people speak so eloquently about football and they're so young. So that's brilliant, man. And thank you for taking the time. And it means at least you don't have to do some homework for a bit. Well, you got maths today. Yeah. It's always maths homework.
Yeah, always maths.
It's always maths, isn't it? It's my daughter. I'll pick her up in a minute. It'll always be maths homework we've got to do, or spellings. Oh, I hate doing spellings. I don't think you do spellings anymore, Jake. I don't think so. But yeah, it's like I used to hate that. But yeah, anyway. But nowadays, like computer skills and stuff, that's all going to be what people need to learn, like coding and stuff like that. So you're getting ahead of the curve already, Jake. So it's all good, man. But anyway, thank you so much for your time, man. Really, really appreciate it. And good luck with everything, mate. I really, really wish you all the luck in the world. And if you need any help, just give us a shout. If you need me to pop on, I'm more than happy to have a chat with you on your channels when do the same. But until next time, from myself and from Jake, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands, everybody. Come on, you irons. Come on, you irons. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.